I tried. But for now, our next performer, he wants me to plug rainbows and friendship and butterflies and kittens and happiness and Butter, which actually is a show that he hosts and runs every second and fourth Friday at Funhouse Lounge. So the next one will be next Friday. Highly recommend if you want something else weird, but he can't name it that. But coming to the stage right now is Cam Strong.
Okay, that'll stay there, right? Cool. Hi, I'm Cam. It is really good to see you all. I'm gonna put that there. Nope. Okay. Please give a round of applause for Haley and Annabelle. They really put on a fantastic thing for everyone. And Neil is doing awesome. And you all are a very important part of this process, and nothing exists without you. You know, the moment isn't real if you're not there. The tree in the wood kind of a bullshit, you know. So thank you for being here. It does not exist without you. So hi, I'm Cam, and now we're now, right? And I want to talk to you guys about the idea of what we are considering this thing called stand-up, you know? Because this is a construct. And what I'm doing right now, in this current moment, is I'm opening up vulnerability. Like, I'm not thinking of my words. I'm trusting that the next one's going to be correct. I did write this idea down, but these words were not what was written. This is all from the heart. This is for you. You know, and so what I'm doing with these words, though, this is very conscious what I'm doing, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm creating these little ramps between rhythm and purpose to elicit the moment where I would say a joke. Like right there would have been a perfect time for a joke. Did y'all feel it? That's what I'm talking about. That would have been a great thing. But I'm just talking about the idea of it, you know? So what is this thing we call stand-up? I enjoy it so much. I think stand-up's one of the coolest things ever because for stand-up, for jokes to work, right? You have to accept an idea into your brain. It has to go inside of you. That's the only way you laugh. If you don't laugh, you didn't hear it. Or you don't understand. Who knows? I don't know, right? So that's what makes it magical. It's like a portal to another reality. That's kind of how I see it, you know? Because you have to accept the words. You have to believe that this thing is real. You don't have to believe it, but your mind perceives it as real. And then you laugh. Like, okay, so just for example, I used to date this crazy 1/4 acre of land. Boy, she was a lot. Simple joke, right? But in that reality, you accepted I dated land, and then that she was crazy too, right? Two realities existed. Okay, great. I think we're onto something here. So the physical, like, are we skipping? No, it's fine. Fuck it. Okay, so the physical, image of a joke goes like that. That's how I saw it in a book. This is just a straight sentence. That's nothing. That's just a boring story. But this is the joke part. So you got your setup, and then you got diarrhea. Just kidding. That's where the punchline goes. But you see what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? And so within that, though, we have, oh my God, my handwriting is atrocious. We don't ever believe in these parts when we think about them, perceiving them in our rooms. Okay, so I have a joke, and it goes, so I was getting high this morning. Thank you. I was getting high this morning, and this lady, she comes up to me, and she says, your weed smoke got my baby high. And I say, your baby owes me $5. Pretty good joke. So the setup there is, I was getting high this morning. It's a simple belief that we can all do. And the punchline is that I actually think that this baby owes me something now for me being an awful person, right? That's this angle here. It's down. But we can also go another way. We can go up, you know? And that's another punchline to the same thing. So for a second, we can propose this notion. To answer the question, all we're doing is answering the question, what is something that you would owe? What's something that would happen after someone took drugs from you? And if you can answer that question, you have another punchline. So does anyone have an idea? If you have an idea, you can just shut it out. Like if someone owes you drugs, what happens then? They beat you up. I could beat up the baby. That's another angle. I could say I'm sorry. That's another angle. I could propose to the mom. That's another angle. I could, I don't know, tap. I could tap dance. It doesn't even have to be words. She could say, you got my baby high, and I go, na, 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 na. And that would be a punchline. It's just something different. Or I could go, doomed to the world. I could go, nothing exists. I can go, time is irrelevant. I could go, and actually this is just straight ahead. I just say, whoops, I'm sorry, ma'am, I'll consider my actions. And then that's just a joke. And this right here is a butthole. So that's just sort of like the conception of what I perceive as jokes, you know, and how that works in my head. And also, we're just seeing this 2D. This is just a 2D model. Jokes also come at you like this or the other way, if you want to get like metaphysical about it, you know. So, okay, and then also, like, what else involves stand-up? Well, this character, this thing that I am, Cam, I'm currently presenting an idea of a performer to you. Right now, I'm jovial. I'm very interactive with you. Right here, right now. I'm looking at your eyes. Hi, hello. I've done this before. I know how to do this. But then I can also, I have modes where I just sort of meek, and I become a little quieter. And this mode applies itself better to short form jokes. Things like, my grandma, she was from Italy. She was born premature, or as they call it, al dente. My father's like Michael Jordan, because I've never met Michael Jordan either. Or you could zip it right back. And now I'm like, no, fucking strutting guy. Like, hey, who eats ass in here? Let's hear it. Who eats ass? You eat ass ears? Oh, that's real cute. I've been eating my girlfriend's diarrhea. But it's two characters. It's just a character. It's just a thing. You know, it's just an idea upon the idea of stand-up, this construct. We're all in this room agreeing. You're sitting there, I'm talking. We agree upon the idea, and I'm just performing at the middle part. I do eat my girlfriend's diarrhea. So it's right there. I thank you, glass, because what I had was not as good as that. Thank you so much. And it's just that. And so in those moments, so we use all of those ingredients to propose this little bit of magic in your head. You know, the easiest way to get anyone to laugh at a joke is you go up to me and you say, hey, you want to hear a joke? And all of stand-up is an elegant way of proposing that notion. That's all it is. But we're performers and we have fun ways to do it, you know? So it's just like these fun things to do it. So let's just talk about jokes for a second. I like jokes. I had a bunch of them. I had so much more shit to talk about. So, okay, so I'm an active guy right now. Active guy jokes, okay. Okay. Got it. See the grounding moment that exists in the moment? I hate it. So, as time goes on, we used to think that things we knew, but as we know that we know them, we know that we don't know what we don't know. Like, we used to think, like a little grain of dirt was the smallest thing that's in here. But we used to think a single grain of dirt was the smallest thing that can possibly exist. But then we found out we can go inside of a grain of dirt. We found these things called atoms. And we said, that's the smallest thing to exist. And then we found a way to go inside of atoms. We found these things called protons. We said, that's the smallest thing ever. But then we found a way to look inside of a proton. We found these things called quarks. And we said, that's the smallest thing ever. But then we found a way to look inside of a quark. And what we found was my penis. My penis is actually the smallest thing to ever exist. My penis only exists in 2 dimensions. Width and depth. If your vagina has any mass, I cannot have sex with you. So, with that joke, it was rhythm. That joke's a rhythm joke. It doesn't make sense, but the allowance in my words really helps you ingest it. That's all that was. It's a trick of the mind. That's all it is. It's not that's an inherently funny thing, and it doesn't even make sense. My penis is huge, right? Like, my penis is monstrous. And I'm not a shower or a grower. I'm a stretcher of the truth. My penis is small. It's very small. Cool. So, with stand-up, you need a good closer. What does a closer do? It ties everything together. It leaves people with a feeling, an idea of what your performance is. So, I like love. I'm a big emotion guy. And I'm here to tell you, I love you all. I do. What I love about this is the exchange of energy. I'm giving you something that existed so long from the sun. The sun blew up and it made all this shit, and now I'm here talking to you, and now I'm giving you what the sun gave me. And I love you. Can I get a ride home? Thank you guys, I'm in camp. Thank you so much. You all have a good night. Appreciate you.
Stand strong, everybody. Put your